you guys? If you're new here, welcome. If you're not, welcome back to my channel. Today, ang pag-uusapan natin ay ang aking home gym setup. And it's pretty simple, nothing too extravagant, nothing too fancy. Because one, it's expensive, and two, I kind of thought that by this time of the year, we'd be able to go back to the gym. But clearly, that's not the case. So, let's get straight into it. Starting with the 3x3 half rack that I got, which is from Atienza and All About Fitness. They have more than just racks and plates and barbells. So I'll link it down below. Check them out if you want. The 3x3 half rack is actually 7x4x4 feet. So that's 4x4 square and then 7 feet tall. It's made with 3mm thick steel. So that's pretty good because some places I think are doing 2mm or 2.5. So I'm happy with that. I also got my 7-foot Olympic bar from them. All in all, what I got from them, including the bench, which is adjustable. It has 3 adjustments. So there's an incline and then there's upright. So there's that. The barbell, the rack, and the bench, I spent 19,000 pesos. Individually, this was 2.5. The bench and the rack came as a combo for 15,000. So that was pretty good. I thought it was a good deal. Pretty happy with the quality. So it's got adjustable J-hooks. There's a lot of settings on it. And then it's also got your safety touch point. So for those of you powerlifting, what Ken told me was that it can handle up to 400 kilograms load, which is roughly like what, 880 pounds if I have my math right. Is that correct? It's 400 times 2.2. Anyway, let's move on from that because it's not a math channel. And for me personally, I've been using this even before pandemic. This is just your standard weight collar. I got this from Shopee. I'm not sure how much exactly I spent on it, but I'll leave a link down in the description also for a cheap option because these are great. You know, instead of using the metal ones you normally see at the gym, I love these. Slap it on, make it lock, and that's pretty much it. So that's great. I also do have a set of dumbbells, standard dumbbells. This I bought, I think, what, maybe 7 years ago. This is for when I first started trying to lift. Standard dumbbells, so they use standard plates with a smaller hole. I do have a few standard plates down here, so I have to get some more of those so that I can start lifting a bit heavier. I do not know the price on that. I'm pretty sure you can check on Facebook Marketplace right now for different options. Next up, I also ordered some Olympic plates, of course, to match the Olympic barbell. I got these plates from Navigator Sports. These are kilo plates. Though I prefer pound plates, I couldn't find any on the market that weren't expensive or that weren't bumpers. So I decided to go for the kilo plates from Navigator Sports. These came out to about 41 pesos per pound, which is pretty cheap. I think it's the cheapest that you can get nowadays. The only issue I have with buying from Navigator Sports is that they're flooded with clients and they've got really bad customer service, to say the least. Like, we ran into a few issues when I bought these. I told them I was going to pick them up on the weekend, and when the weekend came by, they gave my freaking stock to somebody else. I'm just like, what the frick, right? And then, so I had to call them and whatnot, arrange delivery instead of pickup. It was just a hassle. I mean, once I got really pissed off, they handled it better. The owner called me, which I appreciate. Right now, I'm actually still missing a 2.5 kg, so they're gonna be delivering that to my house. But yeah, there's that. 41 pesos per pound. I like them. They're pretty nice. Next up, I have, of course, a yoga mat for my home gym setup. It's not for yoga. I mean, nothing wrong with yoga. You can do yoga if you want. There's nothing wrong with it. But it's for my stretching and foam rolling because I don't want to be on the dirty floors. I bought this from Toby Sports a few years back. Same time I bought the standard dumbbells. And I also have... Where's my foam roller? I also have a foam roller, right? This one I also bought from Shopee. I'll put another link in the description as to where you can get this. Super useful, especially if you feel a lot of body aches and pains. It's probably just your muscles and they're probably just tight, so this is good for rolling them out. And whatnot. What else? Mats. Of course, can't forget the mats. I got mats from an acquaintance, friend from a friend, if that makes sense. His name is Keen Lim. I'll link his profile in the description as well if you want to order mats from him. I actually really like the mats that I got. So the mats that I got from him were 52 by 52 centimeter a piece, 16 millimeters thick, and I got them for 280 a piece, which is pretty cheap, I think. I was looking at Navigator again for my mats and another place called Extreme Gym Fitness, Extreme something. I'll put the exact link in the description for those options. So yeah, that's pretty much my home setup. It's very simple, nothing too fancy. It's really just more for the essentials. Personally, before the pandemic hit, I was more of a power lifter. I call myself a power builder because I kind of mix powerlifting and bodybuilding together. But yeah, that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to message me on my Instagram, maybe my Facebook, if you have any questions about how to set up your home gym. But this is mine. And now, let's move on to the workout. Let's go, let's get it. Okay guys, so ngayon, we're going to be doing a push workout. I'll be putting the workouts here on the side of the screen. Take a screenshot of it now para mamaya you can just go back to your photo instead of having to rewind the video to find out what the next exercise is. We'll be starting with a barbell bench press. So if you have a bench at home and the barbell, then perfect. But if not, that's fine. We can still do a dumbbell bench press. Same thing, it'll be fine. Before we start, a few tips for the bench press. Number one, your form. Form is super important, especially para sa akin na nag-rebuild after my break. You want to make sure you're pushing with your chest, you're not trying to hurt your shoulders, and you do that by retracting your scapula, or engaging your back, pulling your scapula back, engaging your glutes when you're lying down on the bench, and planting your feet flat on the floor. What not to do when you're benching, don't do guillotine presses. What's a guillotine press? It looks like this. When you're doing a guillotine press, you're not actually engaging your chest, you're using more of your shoulders. And that not only is it dangerous because there's so much weight on your shoulders, it's incorrect bench form and you're not getting the most efficient gains out of it. And also don't do dancing feet. This is what dancing feet looks like. Don't do that. Plant your feet. Make sure you're planted and you're pressing through the floor. So our next exercise is going to be an incline dumbbell press. Pretty same concept as the bench. You want to make sure you're engaging your back, engaging your glutes, and planting your feet on the floor. That way you're getting the proper form. The reason you see an arch when people are benching or when they're doing incline presses, it's not because they're forcing an arch out of their back. It naturally occurs, especially when you're doing the right form, like when you squeeze your glutes, squeeze your back. Talagang umaangat ng konti yung lower back mo off the bench, and that's how you achieve that arch. Okay, third exercise is going to be dumbbell chest flies. Put your bench back in the flat position. You want to make sure in this exercise you're engaging this part of your chest. Alright? And you're coming out. When you come down, you're not coming down like in a straight line across your chest. You're kind of at an angle. Medyo nakaangat ng konti yung arms. Because if you go down in a straight line, you're stressing too much of your shoulders once again. If you go down in an angle like this, you're hitting more of your upper chest. Alright? So take note of that when you're doing this exercise. Fourth exercise, we're going to get started with the shoulders. First up, we're going to be doing dumbbell lateral raises. What you want to remember when doing this exercise, well, one is your form. Again, form is everything. So when you're going up, a lot of people will be doing this. They're just throwing it, swinging. It's not the way to do it. What you want to do is, again, come at an angle, right? And when you come at an angle, you want to think of bringing your elbows higher than your wrist. So you're not going this way, right? You're not going straight up. You're kind of twisting your arm a little bit inwards and coming up like this. There's a slight angle outward. It's not straight out to the side. You're going slightly out, not front, slightly out. Alright? Just want to keep in mind, use a light weight. The better control that you have, the more you're engaging your delts. So, let's get into it. Alright, for the second shoulder exercise, we're going to be doing an Arnold press. If you're not familiar with this exercise, kind of like a variation of a regular dumbbell shoulder press. So yeah, let's just jump straight into it. Okay, so the last exercise of the day, it's going to be a dumbbell skull crusher. This exercise focuses mainly on our triceps. It's a little bit more complicated than an easy curl bar. Reason being is because you have two dumbbells in your hand. And it's harder to find that balance between feeling the stretch in your tricep or not. When you're doing it, before you start repping it out, you want to make sure that you go as far back as to where you can start to feel the stretch coming onto your tricep. And at that point, that's your starting position. When it gets there, you're supposed to be repping it out by going down with your elbow with no movement in your shoulder going up and down with your elbow, and squeeze up again with your tricep. Make it straight and lock it out. So that's pretty much it. Let's get into it. Thank you so much for watching this video. That was a loud clap, pretty obnoxious. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you enjoyed, do drop a like, subscribe for more content, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!